Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Football brawl. The wild video of an NFL player hitting another player with a helmet. Today's debate, is suspension enough or should he be charged with assault? Then, Taylor Swift is at war over her music. The he said, she said battle that could stop her performing her own songs. And it just got real. 2 DBL viewers hit the gym for the first time and step on the scale. You don't want to miss the start of their Commit to Be Fit journey.
Now everybody knows what I weigh.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Friday, November 15th. I'm here with Jeff and Al. I am Sam. You guys, we have a very special guest with us today.
Is it me?
It's not you, Al. Stop taking the light away from Mark Summers. He's a friend of our show. Of course, you guys all know him as the host of Nickelodeon's Double Dare and Unwrapped on the Food Network. Thank you for joining us. I can't believe that you want to spend more time with us.
I do, and I want you to stay pregnant for the rest of your life.
Really?
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
glowing, Sammy.
Thank
Unbelievable.
you. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me feel so good. All right.
You can come back
stay.
anytime.
Yeah, you can stay. You definitely can. In fact, I know that you have a lot to say about the impeachment inquiries, so let's get started. The impeachment hearing is happening live as we speak. The former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, is testifying. So take a look at this live look. So far, the biggest headline to emerge is a moment when Yovanovitch describes how she feels about the president attacking her. Watch.
It didn't sound good. It sounded like a threat.
Did you feel threatened?
I did.
I want to let you know, Ambassador, that some of us here take witness intimidation very, very seriously.
Wow. So there you have it. Many people on social media chiming in, saying this is blatant witness intimidation. The White House saying it's not because he tweeted it from his own account. Now I'm confused. What do you make of this circus?
It is indeed a circus, and I'm concerned that these people who have been dedicating their lives for upwards of 50 years are being slammed and made fun of because of water bottles and the lovely Sean Hannity and bow ties and all these stuff, which is total insanity. I think this is witness intimidation, and I also think this leads to more of the impeachment side. And whether you're a Trump person or not a Trump person, these laws are being broken.
Let me pose this question, not to take a side on anything. Is threat up for interpretation? Could one person be threatened and another person have the very same thing happen to them and not be threatened? Is that up for interpretation, or are we deciding that this is threatening?
I think the court of public opinion can come up with their own minds, but we have lawmakers and legislators on both sides of the aisle saying this does fit under witness intimidation. So that's what's scary, especially when it's coming from the highest level in the world, right? So then what kind of precedent is that?
Well, and Sam, to your point, you remember, because I always like to bring up stories that we've already covered to kind of bring things together to show that every story isn't just some random event. You remember when we covered that story about Lizzo and she said that her Postmates didn't arrive? And she went on Twitter. She went on Twitter and she tweeted a picture of her Postmate. And we were saying, whether she knew it or not, maybe Lizzo the singer, didn't know how famous
The picture of the driver delivering the food, right.
That all it takes is one or two crazy fans of Lizzo.
That's just Lizzo.
Of
And that's
Lizzo,
just Lizzo,
who has
not
a
the
very
president.
cool cosmopolitan fan base. Well, all you need is one person to go. So when the president has that kind of following, that kind of rabid following support, when you tweet at somebody, you are, whether you mean to or not, you're putting that person in incredible
You're also
danger.
discrediting them, and that's really scary.
I love the fact that Al says to me, Lizzo the singer, like the oldest man in the world. I have but
we got to get you into Lizzo. You're going to love her.
I know Lizzo, but here's the deal. I'm the only guy here on this panel who remembers Watergate, okay? And back in the day, I think people listened to what was being said and didn't choose up partisan sides. And I find it fascinating that the Republicans, with the exception of maybe Mitt Romney, all say that, you know, this is BS and shouldn't be happening. There are laws being broken. There are rules that have changed. The funniest thing to me is he goes after Biden, and the way things look now, Biden may not even be the guy that he's up against.
Right.
So why put yourself in this situation for that?
Yeah, we will be following it. But you know what? Many of our viewers disagree. They find it to be innocent and a witch hunt. And so we want to hear from you. Chime in. Thursday night football. football made big headlines, including on the Today Show, but not for a good reason. It's all because of what happened here when a Cleveland Browns player, Myles Garrett, ripped the helmet off the Steelers quarterback and then hit him on the head with it. Here it is from a different angle. Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph is okay, but Garrett has now been suspended without pay for the remainder of the 2019 season. Is this assault, Al?
It's definitely assault. It's definitely assault, and everybody knows in this panel, I'm a diehard Browns fan, but I saw that happen in real time. I was on speakerphone with my buddies from Cleveland, and it was super disappointing. It does worry me, and I want to throw this to you guys because I might be biased in this because I grew up watching that, and I associate my family with those uniforms. If we call this assault, can we also call, like, when a pitcher intentionally throws a baseball at somebody's head, assault if it makes contact? Because
yes.
I don't know if you've ever been at a game when somebody's been hit with a baseball, but the entire crowd goes silent.
Right.
It's really scary.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I'm glad the league suspended him for the rest of the year. They're going to have to look into this
for his career myself.
It's unprecedented.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if anything like this happened. You say baseball, the term that I was coming up with in my head, if a hockey player took off his skate and tried to stab somebody with it, this is pretty much the equivalent of that.
I looked up that there's Donald Bashir, I believe his name was. He hit a player with his stick and was charged with assault.
Wait, why is this even a debate? I guess, listen, I'm not huge into football. I guess I see things pretty black and white, no bias here. This is straight up assault to me. You are taking a weapon, a helmet, and you're hitting someone on the head with it. That's not protocol for football.
Sam, here's the difference, though. Back in the day, when I was growing up, there were 8 teams in the American League, 8 teams in the National League. I'm talking baseball right now. They still traveled by train. I knew that Mickey Mantle was going to be on the Yankees every year. Then the free agency thing started, and these guys became babies. And now it's all about money. It's not about loyalty. And these guys are treated like kings and princesses, and I think they can do whatever the heck they want. Therefore, this happens.
Wow. Well, I think it's pretty upsetting.
They're going to have to make an example.
Go to our YouTube, go to our Facebook, and chime in. You may not be able to see Taylor Swift perform some of her greatest hits, like Shake It Off, or even a fan favorite, Love Story, at the upcoming American Music Awards. She says she's being blocked from doing it. She posted all about it on social, saying, quote, Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun have now said that I'm not allowed to perform my old songs on television because they claim that would be re-recording my music before I'm allowed to next year. The message being sent to me is very clear. Basically, be a good little girl and shut up or you'll be punished. Taylor also now has asked her fans to get involved. Meantime, Taylor's former label, Big Machine, has responded, telling TMZ that T-Swift can 100% perform all of her catalogs at the AMAs. Now, here's the two sides of this. A lot of people applauding Taylor Swift for calling out the big guys and exposing it, while others are saying, why do you have to keep airing your dirty laundry? Where do you stand on this?
Well, I'm going to get in trouble, but I think at times she can be a little nuts. I mean, God forbid I would ever date her. It would never happen.
What?
It's Friday.
Because she would write a song 10 minutes later about how crazy I am, okay? So with that in mind, if they said it's all right, case closed. What's the problem? Why are we, riling up everybody?
Right. And here's my thing. This is why
because
I don't
she feels trapped and backed into a corner.
But she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
Tell me how.
They just listen. She could alter reality. These big stars with 150, 200 million followers can alter reality. The reality is the label said, we never said that.
Yeah.
You could use the song. She performed it on GMA, having this clause in her thing saying she can't. She still performed one of her own songs.
What's the upside? What's her end game?
I don't know. What is her end game?
What's the point? What is
her point?
Listen,
I want your point of view.
Yeah.
I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here. And I know that a lot of artists out there feel like that they are trapped and there's an abuse of power when it comes to the labels or certain individuals that I guess own their catalogs, and they feel like they can't do certain things, and then they have to wait it out for a year or whatever that clause is. And for her, if she feels like I'm missing out on all these opportunities because I can't play my own songs that I wrote.
No, they said she could.
So why are you giving them the benefit of the doubt and not her?
Because they just said she can do it.
Well, she's saying the opposite.
Well,
I know it's a he said, she said game, but why are we so quick to
But she has so much
believe
more
the
leverage,
label?
and it's going to sound weird to put all these names in the same sentence, but Donald Trump, Lizzo, Taylor Swift.
Who's
Are we going back to this again?
Lizzo, the singer.
Oh, okay.
They all have incredibly passionate fan bases. There are other
What's
artists
wrong?
who
How is this any different from the Me Too movement of people exposing what is unjust and abuse of power?
Because
If this is an
I would
abuse
say
of
you would do
power,
that
why wouldn't she expose it?
Where's the unjust abuse of power? They said go do your thing. Case closed.
Well, they said that she can perform live, so
Yes.
to speak. So she could perform new material, but what about Shake It Off?
No, they said she
They
can.
said she can do
Listen,
And she
I
did
think,
on GMA
I
when
think
she
that's
said the
them
clause.
playing the publicity game.
Well,
I don't
how
think
do we
there's
know? 'Cause
truth
all
to
we
that.
do
We're
is
going to have to
hear
look at the
from
court.
Taylor Swift.
We're going to have to look at the court documents. I don't think that she would have any.
But if they're court documents, why would she go public?
Yeah, it does make sense. By the way, the most abused acts ever were black acts in the 50s and 60s. These guys used to perform and not get paid. James Brown, before he went on stage, used to make you pay him in cash before he walked on. Aretha Franklin,
But
same
two wrongs
thing.
don't make a right. What
No,
if
no.
she's being taken advantage of right now?
I don't buy it.
You don't?
No.
Woo-hoo.
I love it.
Bart
I love it.
Summers. Wow, DBL, guess what? We have him sticking around all show long. So, coming up, Tom Hanks explains why he doesn't like playing the bad guy. Can you picture him as the villain? Then 2 loyal DBL viewers have committed to be fit. We're following them on their journey to take back their health. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Should high schools be giving birth control pills to students? It's a fiery debate that's got people on both sides heated. Your comments next.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Let's get right to it. Welcome back to DBL. A unanimous vote by a Massachusetts school board is the topic of debate in today's 5th host. Some teens outside of the Boston area will eventually have access to birth control provided by their high school. This includes condoms, birth control pills, and emergency contraceptives. A high pregnancy rate among students led to this controversial decision, and now you better believe some
How old
parents
is
are
that picture?
outraged. So DBL Nation, should high schools be allowed to offer birth control to
pictures by
students?
28. Can we get some updated B-roll? First of all,
It's like a Lifetime,
that girl was
like
7
those-
months up
Yeah.
pregnant.
It's like after-school special
It's a little
movies.
late to have that conversation.
Remember after school special movies?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
they're,
my.
they're all like 70s footage, no
Yeah.
matter what. Take the first comment.
All right,
Mark.
Michelle from Facebook says, why not? A 12-year-old can make their own appointment to get birth control without parental consent.
They can make their own appointment where?
At a gynecologist.
Not
Planned Parenthood.
Unfortunately, there's not a Planned Parenthood in every city or near every neighborhood, especially neighborhoods where people may need some sort of transportation to get there, and they don't have the transportation, whether because they're too young or whether because their families use public transportation.
Right.
So I think depending on where you live has a lot to do with your access of reproductive rights. I
Is
think
this
that's
a
important to know.
religious thing, or is this a parental, where are we putting this whole thing?
I
think it's all
that's
of it.
what everybody's saying.
I think it's all. Yeah, I don't
Get
think
the
it's
next
just, I don't
comment,
think it's
Jeff.
just one thing. Yeah.
I will. Greg from Facebook says, I am all for sex education, but giving my child birth control without my consent, not okay. Greg, I get it as a parent. I don't want anybody doing anything to my child that I don't consent in. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one, but some people just maybe don't have the parental control to even get that consent. They might not care about their child enough. I don't know. It's a very tough.
Jeff, it's tough.
Or they're
and you know
working
what, they
two
might,
jobs and they
Right,
don't.
yeah.
They're not aware that
But
their
it's
child's
better-
sexually active.
I'd rather me not know about my child getting birth control than having a kid at 15 years old.
I think
Right.
that's
That's
the
a-
end.
That's my weight.
I think that's the risk versus reward.
Yes.
And I think, just because we don't have time for another comment, I mean, we discussed what T.I. did with his daughter by trying to make sure that she hadn't had sex. If in T.I., that thought comes from a good place. I'm trying to protect my daughter. It's a bad idea, but it's coming from a place of love. But it still could
That
result.
comes from a
it
place of
still
control.
could result.
That comes from a place of policing and control.
It still could result in an unwanted pregnancy or an STD. So I think what we should do is understand that some people, like T.I.'s daughter, might not have a dad
Who's
that they can go.
unfollowed him on social media
Yes.
because she felt that he crossed the line.
Right, and maybe might have a dad or a mother that they can't talk to. to, but maybe they can talk to a nurse practitioner or a doctor. So we have to give them an option.
Way down the road for you, Sophie's what, 2 years old?
I can't even imagine.
No?
I can't. Like, I'm with Jeff. I want to be there to be, at the end of the day, I want to be involved in those conversations.
You're a progressive
and I
mom,
want,
Melissa.
no, I want to be involved in those conversations. I don't want her having sex as a teenager. Not at all. I hope I can implement enough in her where she will wait until she's an adult. However, I'd rather her be able to talk to a nurse practitioner if she's too embarrassed to talk to me and then end up with a kid.
Here was the thing. I wanted to have sex as a teenager, but nobody would have it with me. So
Ultimate Planned Parenthood.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. Yesterday, we met Nicole and Matthew, who were selected to take on the DBL 12-week Commit to Be Fit journey. We told you their personal struggles, and today we are checking back in as they hit the gym for the first time, plus that dreaded weigh-in. Check it out.
I sent Nicole to pick up Matthew in her Uber.
And we're pulling.
It's important for them to get to know each other. They're both going through some bizarre changes together, and so I'm excited for them to talk and get to know one another.
I have to admit, though, I'm scared for today.
Nicole and Matthew are coming into Platform Strength. They're going to meet George and Gary. All right, Matthew, this is your trainer, George. Nicole, this is your trainer, Gary. Nice to meet you, too. But most importantly, it's time for a weigh-in. Matthew, you are up first. Okay, go ahead. 318.4.
Now everybody knows what I weigh.
Realistically, what do you feel you can accomplish in these next 12 weeks?
Maybe 290.
Nicole, are you ready? Okay, go ahead and step on. 263.1.
What I saw on the scale is what I've been feeling every time I step on one, which is defeated.
What do you think after 3 months we can get to?
I'm hoping 200, but I'll shoot for 220.
Okay. All right, the guys are gonna set up your circuit, but it's important to know where you're at, and we also wanna keep you injury-free. So I'm gonna put you through a little balance test. I'm gonna do a little gut check. Here you go. Good, now bring it in front. Matthew and Nicole are ready. I feel so good about their energy, about their excitement, about even this workout that they're doing. They have smiles on their faces. They are very willing and able to jump in. Keep going, we got 10 more, we got 10 more. And that's a really good first day. Matthew, Nicole, that was just the warm-up. George is gonna take you, Matthew. Gary's gonna take you, Nicole.
Let's see what we got.
Okay. Matthew and Nicole are willing to do everything. That is a really good sign that they are matching up well with their trainer. My job is to make sure that this lasts for 3 months. So as great as this motivation is, we gotta keep it high and we gotta keep them motivated throughout the 3 months.
Nicely done. Beautiful. All right.
Here's how this is gonna work. We have 3 months. You're gonna do 3 times a week with your trainers, non-negotiable.
Okay.
2 times a week, non-negotiable on your own. 20 to 30 minutes, whether it's your treadmill, whether it's going on a walk outside, movement in any way, anything in addition to those 5 days a week is optional. Of course, it's gonna be beneficial, but we want this to be sustainable.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, day one.
I was into that. So the exercise rules have been laid out. Next up, nutrition. Tune into DBL on Tuesday when Emily teaches Matthew and Nicole what foods to keep and what foods to throw away. And if you want to join our Commit to Be Fit series, go to emilyschramm.com/DBL for all the information. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. Mark Summers is here with us all show. So what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been on tour for the last year and a half doing Double Dare Live. We've been in about 60 different cities. We're wrapping it up in December. We open in New York. We do Boston, Foxwoods. Go to DoubleDareLiveTour.com and you can get the whole situation there. We had a ball doing that. New episodes of Double Dare coming in December on Nickelodeon. It's a whole holiday extravaganza going on there. So
holiday extravaganza?
Yes, 4 episodes of there.
Look at him. He's a rock star going on tour. Yes, Mark. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Ever notice Tom Hanks is always the good guy? The Oscar winner on why he doesn't like playing the villain. Then, creep in on your ex's social media accounts? Are you guilty of digital spying? And the price is wrong. Can the DBL hosts figure out how much these outrageously expensive dishes cost? Find out when we come back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. For those of you just joining us, we've got friend of our show, Mark Summers, here with us today. Thank you again, Mark, for sticking around. Yep, he loves us.
That was one of those. Someone started.
It's appropriate. Well, nice guy Tom Hanks is playing Mr. Rogers in the upcoming movie A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and we're used to seeing him in that type of role, the good guy, like Forrest Gump, Castaway. But have you ever wondered why he never plays the villain? Well, he told the New York Times, "I recognized in myself a long time ago that I don't instill fear in anybody. I think I have a cachet of mystery. Bad guys, by and large, require some degree of malevolence or some sort of evil that I don't think I can fake." Yeah, I don't think I could see. I mean, I know he played an assassin in Road to Perdition, but he was kind of like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
So do you think certain actors can play any role they want, or are they kind of limited?
Well, you know, De Niro couldn't play Mr. Rogers, so I mean, it kind of goes both ways. I think Tom Hanks is the last major, like Jimmy Stewart kind of actor, and he's brilliant. You want to go see whatever movie this man does.
Have you ever met him?
For sure.
And, I've got an interesting story about that. I worked for Steven Spielberg for a short time, and he used to call me the fake Tom Hanks because he said Tom and I have the same voice, which I don't think we do.
Really?
But he used to call me the fake Tom Hanks. So one day, Tom was doing a Broadway show, and I sent him an email or a FedEx backstage because I wanted to meet him, but he never responded. So I've never had a chance to meet him. Someday.
A FedEx?
Oh, he can be a bad guy. That's how you get people to respond.
A FedEx?
So I sent him a FedEx backstage, hoping he was going to respond. So I'd go back, but he never responded.
I had no idea that was the secret. Is sending a FedEx.
It's a Hollywood trick.
But you in the FedEx is like a note?
A note that says Mr. Spielberg refers to me as fake Tom Hanks, and you and I work for him, and I'd love to meet you, and here's what Google me if you don't know who I am. And all that stuff.
I'm gonna try that one day.
Yeah, It's worked both times. Not that time.
Okay, so when you're in a loving relationship, you might be open to sharing your social media passwords with your partner, but then you break up. A new survey says that 27% of people admitted to secretly logging into their ex's accounts after the split, and 11% said they were out for revenge. Does this surprise you all?
Yeah, that's 73% of people lying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think anybody here
I would in a heartbeat.
You would?
So first of all,
would not.
in the past I never have. But if my husband and I, God forbid, ever got divorced, I don't see that happening. We've been together for 15 years. And of course we know each other's passwords, not to snoop, we don't care. But it's whatever, we just know you're right next to each other. You better believe like a day after we get divorced, I'm going to check. Of course I am.
Really?
And what do you want to know? What do you want to know?
It's over.
Yeah, but I just think curiosity. I just think I would want to know. I mean,
what if
that's
there's
because
an email from him and they're saying it's over, Sam? That'd be kind of fun.
I guess it's different because I'm madly in love now, but I guess if something were to happen where I'm over that person, then maybe I wouldn't care. But you better believe I would care if he ended it with me, and I'd be like, why did he end it?
Yeah, well, what about you guys? Would you check?
Social media is the downfall of the world. I just think it's awful.
You would never check?
No.
It's right there.
First of all, I'm an open book. My wife knows everything about me. I know everything about her. She can look
but
at.
If you get divorced, you don't know.
I've been married 45 years. Where am I going?
Jeff, what about you? If it ended tomorrow and you were like, what? And then you have the password. What would you do?
I don't think I would. I don't now. I live by the golden rule.
I don't
do unto
either.
others.
Yeah, I don't
even though my
either.
wife
Before
does
they
not.
do it to you.
Although my wife does not believe in that because she looks through all my stuff.
Yeah, I just don't care.
So I just think it causes problems.
Yeah.
Whatever you're looking for, you are going to find
I know
in some
I would.
capacity. Or
I would
the
love
other.
to say I wouldn't,
Yes.
but I know I would. I wish I
like
would.
your honesty, though.
Men, big difference.
There you go.
I know.
But I don't do it now.
I know a
swear
lot
to God.
of dudes that would be.
But swear to God, I've never done it now, so I guess that means something as opposed to if I felt scorned, maybe.
If you ever have insomnia, read my Twitter, my email, all that stuff. You'll go to sleep in about.
right. All right, so it might be time to file for a sleep divorce. Speaking of sleep, does your partner snore, excessively fidget, or go to sleep at a different time than you? That may be one of the many reasons why 1 in 4 couples, American couples, sleep in separate bedrooms. Anybody relate?
I can definitely relate.
Me too.
Yeah, I definitely relate. If I have to get up super early or something, one of us is on the couch, one's in the bedroom, one has one kid, you know what I mean? So there's a lot going on in our house with the 2 little ones. It's tough to get that night's sleep.
Did it change since you had kids?
Absolutely.
Me too.
Absolutely. We would never, it's not sleep in the same bed
Me too.
without not the kids and getting up. I'm like, I have things to do. I've been up for it's 2 in the morning. Somebody please take the kids. I need to get up at 6
It's literally sleep, like for me and Mark, like when he wasn't in the bed before Sophie, I wouldn't sleep good because I wanted him there. Now I'm like, oh my God, sleep is so precious. I'm gonna go downstairs so I don't have to hear Sophie, and sometimes we'll switch because sleep is more important than
right, and it's vice versa too. Like I'm like, you go get your sleep. I'll take the kids.
You make it fair.
I got it.
Did this never happen to you?
It's happening as we speak.
Thanks for being honest.
Are you a snorer or
My
a fidgeter?
wife says I snore. Okay,
Yeah.
so
that means you snore.
Well, you know, I have audio recordings of her snoring at night as well. But it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Okay, she seems to be. So we play the switch off.
So
but then
do we.
It's so crazy, you know. It just happens.
Sleep is important. Look at Al over here.
Yeah.
Al, you're new though.
I know.
You're in a new relationship.
Are you cuddling still?
Yeah.
Gross.
I don't know.
I can't believe you just said the word cuddling. Okay, come on.
We need the bonding time. You know.
Here's one. Are you spooning?
Sleep is pretty damn important.
You can't sleep
Thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
And what if like one person likes the room warm, like
Yes.
my husband likes it warm and toasty.
Yeah.
I like it frigid.
Yeah, you can hang meat in my bedroom.
Oh, and I love that.
My wife has been going through the change her entire life, okay? It just never ends.
Yeah.
So I have to wear a muckluck to sleep. It's so
All right. People on Twitter are sharing the reasons they were let go from jobs using the hashtag, and then I was fired. So let's take a look at a few. One user said, I was told I could bring in additional office supplies from home, so I brought in a pillow and a blanket. Another wrote, I was on vacation with a family I nannied for. The kid wanted to play with me instead of the mom. And finally, I cooked fish in the microwave. Oh, we've had that happen here on the show.
Yes.
So anybody have a story? Yours is funny.
Which firing?
Yeah.
Mark,
the filing one.
When I was on off, I've been fired so much. I thought so many people had been fired, and then I was like, oh, everybody's been an adult.
Yeah.
I didn't get serious about life till I was like 28. So I used to get fired. I was an office temp, and there was 2 things. One, I used to try and leave early, so I would get on a ladder and set the clock forward and just get off the ladder and walk out.
Ooh,
and
I love it.
If I got confronted, it says 5 o'clock. And I got fired from a dentist's office because I was just like, all the files would be on one tray, and it'd be like 200 files, and I'm super lazy, so I would just put them around the office so that
Can
people
you
couldn't find,
imagine
behind desks.
hiring him to file your
I just would,
your files,
I just would
and he
not
just makes
work.
it worse?
I refuse to work.
I'm with you. I used to work at Structure at one point.
Yeah, I used to go to Structure,
So
yeah.
they hired me. I know I'm old. So if you guys don't know Structure, it's like the Gap.
Yeah.
And I just did it for the holidays. So when I got there, I'm like, so what's? They're like, you have to sell these jeans. I'm like, all right, cool. What's my incentive? What's my
You get paid.
Give me a little something on the side. You know what I mean?
You get paid.
$8 an hour? I wanted a little bonus for selling the most jeans. So they're like, what are you talking about? You're getting paid to sell these jeans. I'm like, $8 an hour? And they'd come in, people come in like, how much are these jeans? I'm like, dude, they're half price at the Gap across the street.
Oh, my.
And then like, this isn't working out. I'm like, I agree.
Mark, what about you?
I've been fired many times because I'm in show business. So I mean, that's what we can do. One time I was working at an arts and crafts store. I was in Indiana. I was about 16, 17 years old, and I am not mechanically inclined. So the guy went to lunch, came back, and he wanted me to put this display rack together. And I apparently put it together backwards. And he said, I've never met a Jew who was mechanically inclined. I don't want to tell you what I told him, but I was fired.
Yeah. Good for you.
All right, the break. I can't wait to hear this.
Yes.
And here I took my job so seriously. Yes, I started working at 14 at Jamba Juice, and I just, I back then it was called Juice Club. It wasn't then Jamba Juice, and I've always consecutively worked since then, and I was always.
You've never been fired?
No, I always took.
Oh,
well, of course,
my.
there's been showbiz jobs where they move on, the show gets canceled, things like that. But an actual job where for my lack of effort, no.
The worst way I was fired, I was supposed to host the Hollywood Squares version that Tom Bergeron ended up doing.
Oh.
So I was originally the guy, and I got an audio recording on my answering machine, how long ago this was, and I still have the tape. In fact, I just found it recently. It says, we're looking for the next David Letterman or the next major motion picture star. You're neither, you're fired, and don't call us.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I got fired.
That's how people used to talk back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can sweeten it a little bit.
Nope.
Toughens you up.
And the guy used to be my agent who did that.
Yeah. When you say used to be, was that before or after the call?
No, it was before the call, and then he got upped to this other position at King World, and so he was a big shot, and that was the message he left on my answering machine.
Wow. And then did he try and chase you later?
As a matter of fact, he did.
Of course they do.
Yes. There we go.
Of course they do. Good.
Ooh.
Good. You had the last say.
It's almost
Mark.
a house call.
Yeah.
Coming up on DBL, we are taking a look at some of the priciest dishes from around the world in a fun game hosted by Mark Summers.
That's so cool.
Can't wait for this.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Let's get right to it. Welcome back to DBL. You all know today's guest, Mark Summers, as host of Double Dare. But did you know he's also the executive producer of popular food shows like Restaurant Impossible and Food Feud? So Mark is joining us with a game that combines his skills and experience. Take it away, Mark.
Thank you, Sam. Here are the rules, and by the way, in honor of Gene Rayburn. Gene Rayburn, though, me and Bert Dubrow love this. I describe a delicious delicacy, and you'll have to guess the price of the expensive dish. The person that is furthest from the actual retail price will be eliminated. We'll continue playing until only one person remains. The winner will receive a very sweet prize.
Ooh.
Ready to play, guys?
Yeah.
Let's play expensive taste. Here's our first item. It's the Fleur Burger, served at Chef Keller's Fleur restaurant in Vegas's Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. The burger has Wagyu beef, a generous portion of truffles, and it comes with a bottle of 1995 Chateau Petrus wine. So, Sam, what is the price of this dish?
I would say only because of the wine and the truffles, $1,500.
All right. Al, what would you think?
I'm going to go with $146.
What? There's a bottle of wine and truffle in it.
A lot of restaurants, they dump the good wine out and put the $2 chuck in there. Yeah.
No.
Al, do you know how much a pound of truffles would be?
No.
Ouch.
Okay. Well, he'll be going soon, so we'll make.
I feel like I know the answer.
Jeff, what is your guess?
I guess $3,500.
Yeah.
All right. The actual retail price is $5,000.
Yeah, Jeff.
All right, I'm in.
That means Al.
Bye, Al.
nominated.
That was
Go away.
embarrassing.
Simon Jeff, it's all up to you. Here's the dish.
Okay.
A truly unique culinary creation. By the way, you can't say truly unique. It's either unique or it isn't. The Fortress Stilled Fisherman Indulgence as a one-of-a-kind dessert featuring Italian cassata flavored with Baileys and is served with an 80-carat aquamarine stone placed behind a handcrafted chocolate stilt fisherman. I have no idea what the hell any of that is. Jeff, what is your guess?
I'm with you, Mark. I have no idea what the hell any of that stuff is. I guess $2,500.
Okay, Sam.
Okay, an 85-carat aquamarine. I'm saying $99,999.
Wow. The actual retail price is $14,500.
No.
Jeff, you're the winner. Come on down and claim your prize.
I'm so excited. This breaks their hearts.
What did he get?
Congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you so much,
Nice
Mark.
job. Are you ready to find out what you've won?
This is my moment. Let me
Here
live
it
in
is.
it. All
The
right.
Golden Opulent Sundae from New York Serendipity cost $1,000, and it's served in a crystal bowl that you get to keep. And you win an autographed picture of me and your exec producer, Bridget Brown, eating this expensive dessert. Congratulations. Thanks for playing Expensive Taste. We'll be right back. This is priceless. This is priceless.
That's hilarious. Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a health alert sponsored by Health Markets. California-based Mann Packing Company announced a food recall of vegetable products which may be contaminated with listeria. So listeria causes food poisoning that can even result in death. The recalled products have a best if enjoyed by date ending tomorrow and were sold under a variety of brand names, including Signature Farms, Market Side Organic, Cisco, Trader Joe's, and more. Wow. Food recalls are becoming more and more common. So in the U.S., recalls increased by 10% from 2013 to 2018 due to advanced tracing methods. In 2018, it created more than 20 million pounds of food waste. That's equal to 300 school buses or 134 Boeing 737s. So most recalls are precautionary and not linked to any illnesses, but it is, of course, better to be safe than sorry. So do you think we're getting better at handling food recalls? I also love that social media is on it. Like anytime I find out there's a food recall or even like a baby product recall, Facebook, somehow one of my Facebook friends, family members will alert me, and I've never actually had to discard anything, but it's, hey, I want to know.
Yeah, well, I was going to say you can reach so many more people. I mean,
you can.
Back in the day, you used to have to pick up a phone and be like, hey, Jeff, tell Jordan. And now you can tell however many followers you have, like, please retweet if you have a baby or, you know, you have this lettuce in your house.
Either or.
I also think it's really alarming, though. I get that we have better food tracing capabilities, but I also think that we produce things in such excess. Whether it's vegetables, whether it's meat, we see these food recalls happening, and it's alarming because I think that we are all for profit, and I don't think there's enough regulation.
If you ever saw how orange juice was processed,
tell me.
You would never drink it again.
Does it depend, though? Like who's making it?
There's one company that, I used to host a show called Unwrapped.
Oh, yeah.
And I know a lot about everything from Peeps to orange juice and everything in between. And it's amazing that more of us aren't being damaged.
Did that show affect how you eat today?
Majorly, absolutely, because what the government allows to go by the wayside is absolutely fascinating to me. Now, the human body can fight off a lot of these illnesses, but at some point, when there's metal shavings in your chicken, you obviously want to get that back. But it's pretty scary stuff.
I know my dad used to, somehow was involved in a very popular baby food company. I'm not going to call them out. But he saw how they processed their baby food and what was actually in the baby food. And this was, things, of course, I hope changed because this is when I was a little kid, but that day is when he and my mom started making all of our food because they saw how processed and all the byproducts that were inside baby food.
Well, people buy licorice. There's no such thing as real licorice anymore. People buy marshmallows. Marshmallows, it's the mallow plant. It's all sugar and all that kind of stuff. So they call it one thing, but it has nothing to do with what it really was in its original form.
You need to be aware.
And when you buy organic,
are we going to let him ruin marshmallows for everybody?
Yeah, marshmallows.
Mark, it's Friday.
That's the end.
Sorry. We will be right back with our superstar of the week.
And for affordable quality health insurance, call Health Markets at 1-800-659-0649.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for the Superstar of the Week, or should I say superstars. A group of Texas high school engineering students and a few caring teachers banded together to build a prosthetic arm for a middle schooler with a big dream. Kayla Arqueta was born without a left forearm or hand and decided that despite obstacles, she wanted to play the cello. With the help of a 3D printer, the class began creating a design especially made for Kayla.
I would like other students to know that life is challenging, but everyone's gonna love you for who you are.
Wow.
What? That's awesome.
I know. I love that it was her classmates.
Yes.
I love that type of altruistic, almost empathetic behavior that you see from young kids is what gives me hope for our future.
Do you think a half hour of that once a week would be interesting to viewers? I always thought a half hour of good news would be something we all need at the end of the week.
Jeff says that all the time.
All the time. For the longest time, I wanted to do like a program called The Good News.
Yes.
And that's all you do is like the good news. What?
Well, no, our own Tori.
But our producer's like, no way. You know why? Because misery loves company.
No, but Jeff, Let's be honest, our own Tori Shulman does Chicken Soup for the Soul.
That's true.
Which is 22-minute episodes.
That's a half-hour show.
It's a half-hour, yes, of just feel-good stories. You can find it on Crackle.
You can find it on Crackle. Way to go, Tori Shulman. We're so proud of you. And it's good, let me tell you.
Yes.
It really does pull
Well, me
on
and
your
Mark will be
heartstrings.
positive over here. We're going to have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being
Nice
here, buddy.
seeing you, my friends.
That was a terrible high five.
That high
Love
five.
you,
That was a
Mark.
terrible
Thank you
high
for
five.
joining us, Mark Summers. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Who's Lizzo?